listening to the Life of Lozo podcast.
We are live here at Life of Lozo.
He is the funniest, smartest, sexiest guy I
know. Lozo is now live.
Yo, on this episode, I podcast live on Facebook with old friends DJ Crazy Kaz and DJ Cutt-Nice. We discuss the year 1995 of the golden decade of hip-hop and reminisce on how we first met. The audio of the internet was a little shaky, but the content is great. Thank you to our sponsors, Stay Tuned Studios, The Taylor Shop Inc., 03 Productions, A. Charles Photos, The Beat Brigade, Rhyme Designs Clothing, Ronz World Guitars, The Music Experience, Custom Shirts and more, and The Art of Kyle Willis, and of course, Jack's Nutrition. Let's go. Life of Lozo podcast live on Facebook. And I am more than happy to welcome some really good friends of mine for a long time, and decades known these cats, all the way up from Michigan right now. DJ Crazy Kaz and DJ Cutt-Nice, the 45 King. What's up, y'all?
What up, though? What up? That shit is. I'm on the low with low.
Yeah, man, we've been talking about this for a hot minute of like getting together and getting on some shows and whatnot. So we're trying out some new software. We're gonna kind of see how this works, and if people will enjoy this and have some convo. But I figured we would talk a little bit of hip hop tonight, live on the show, and we're gonna talk about the year 1995 and the golden decade of hip hop. What the hell were y'all doing in the year 1995?
Man, 95.
Well, let's see here. I was 25 in, so partying was already established. Like, yeah, we was already still doing big stuff, but
yeah,
music was different. Like, we were stuck in a time zone where, man, hip hop was like still sort of like iffy. We didn't want to go to like what I call it, let's say it wasn't too East Coasty, but the South was on the rise, if you want to say. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So things are taking a switch, especially with location.
Yeah. Cuddy, what about you, man? What the hell were you doing?
Man, I was basically, man, shit. I was just.
You was dunking.
I was doing that. I was like still doing a little bit of basketball thing, you know, getting ready to go to college and all that stuff, and just, you know, going to parties, watching him pretty much. I was just partying pretty much.
But did we see someone get knocked out? Knocked out somebody?
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Oh, that's right, because I remember being at the back and watching my man's feet hit the air. And I go on the mic and was like, you had to do it like that. Wow.
Yeah. That was the last party. Yeah. Before I left to go to Fair State. Oh, speaking of Fair State, big ups to them. Basketball team won today. Championship, national title, D2. You know.
Hey, I know, right? I'm rocking the Michigan joint today because, you know, we're playing actually right now.
They playing right now.
Yeah, they're playing right now. They're playing Florida State right now.
So if you keep seeing us look down, it's like me looking at the phone and the podcast, and he watches the game. So,
and then
they do something. I gotta make sure I keep you updated on the.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Cuddy, you came to Western in what, 96?
I came. In the fall. No. Was it 97? Yeah, I came right in the winter of 97. Like right when 97 hit.
Yeah, I think it was 97 because I started DJing the summer of like 96 and came back sophomore year with the decks, and then I remember like that was like a year of just like, you know, spinning in the dorms and practicing, and it was that next year when I met you at that pool party.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. That was the Alpha pool party.
Yeah, the Alpha pool party. Yeah, absolutely. I'll never forget that. You and Jay Reed.
Yeah.
I heard them parties kind of epic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Really epic. And then Kaz, had you come up to 89.1 before we had the shows up there at the radio station?
No, I don't think so, man. No, because I was still doing too many, like, let's say university parties between like not fairs really, but summer fairs I did, Central, and man, what's that? It's an Olivet did a couple parties. So he's doing this. I was doing you would say the college circuit up here for a bit with some of these frats. Cause I remember one frat, man, with this kid named Brown and the rest of them about that fairs. He used to be, was it how the city was?
No, the Imps. The Imps. Brown Bungalow. That's where you would be at. If you were the air party at fairs, you was at the Brown Bungalow. Trust me. Oh man, them days.
Right off the highway that we tore up. There was a party that was in the ice rink. They used to do parties in the dome. Man, yeah.
That's dope, man. Well, I mean, those years for me, 95, 96, getting into DJing, and the kind of like when we all ended up connecting in 96, 97, man, that was nothing but college parties and nightclubs and the radio show and everything from the Warehouse to Club KW to Club 340 to, I remember, Kaz, you were out Small Planet for a while on the radio out there. Man, we were all over the place.
A Small Planet. Yeah. Yeah.
I know, right? So yeah, man. Well, so we got some watches on. What's up, Jay? What's up, Jason? What's up? What's up, Squiggy? We had a bunch of people popping on the show here, so that's super dope. But we will get right into 1995, the golden decade of hip hop. And the first album that we want to talk about is it was released on January 17th, 1995, and it was The Roots, Do You Want More? The second studio album by the band, and it was the band's major label debut, released 2 years after their independent album Organics. It was kind of, critiqued and thought of as like a classic hip hop jazz album. And the source had it listed as one of the 100 best rap albums of all time. It took 20 years for it to go gold, which doesn't surprise me at all in the U.S. So what are y'all thinking about The Roots and Do You Want More?
I'm bugging out. Like, really? It took that long for it to go gold?
Yeah, man. Look at I'll put him on solo. Of course, Cuddy got the damn record.
What was on the album? So, I'm trying to figure out what was the track that was on there.
Proceed.
Okay.
You got to go with that.
Fair enough. Yeah, now I know this was Small Planet Days.
The first one, though, the first song I heard off of here, man, because they even had a video for it, was the Static song, the Distortion of Static.
Yeah.
That, I was like, what was these cats? But then, man, after I heard Proceed, I was like, man.
Yeah, Proceed was kind of a rough
that did it for me. Like,
yeah.
Because it was like a jazzy type, relaxing type joint, man. But it's just like the beat so cold, and we didn't even go out to get into remixes that they didn't have for them.
Yeah, because that was the hip hop wasn't to the point where I was like almost giving up on it. So this was that before the crunk era started kicking in, right?
Oh yeah, that was way before the crunk era. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Proceed. Wow.
Oh. Yeah. And Silent Treatment.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I remember why I like Proceed. Because Proceed and Roots sounded like Freestyle Fellowship from way back. California. So that's what piqued my interest for them. But I know there was something else on that album that I was like, man.
Well, it was back. I think that had Quest versus Rozelle, I think, on that album too.
There it is.
Yeah,
because it was the introduction of Rozelle was on there.
Yep. Yeah, see, and that for me, I mean, it's like I wish, like, it's crazy now to see the Roots, you know what I'm saying, on Jimmy Fallon and like late night and like doing all that. It breaks my heart that Rozelle's not there. I don't know why. I've never actually like Googled to see what was going on with all that, if it was an issue or problem or whatever. But that was like with Rozelle kind of on the up and coming. And then I remember like I got his single somewhere where you opened up the vinyl record and it was beatboxing to you. Remember that?
Promo pack. Right?
Yeah. It was all I know. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was sick. But I remember that, like that was super dope to have an album like that, and kind of with the drummer versus the beatboxer and everything like that. But I've been a Roots fan. I know we talked about it a couple of episodes ago about the top 5 MCs, and Black Thought snuck his way up there because of that recent viral freestyle he had on Funk Flex. But he's always been dope, and they've always been a dope group, and I've always appreciated the fact that they're a live band and they can pretty much play anything, and that's the coolest thing about the Roots for me.
True.
Yeah, I agree with you on all that, man. Like I even had the chance to even I met them cats, man, that time back in 98. Oh,
Yeah.
I met them, man, at the Chicago Blues, man, down there. That's when I first saw Questlove spin. And,
Yeah.
man, I was just thinking, like, looking at a concert, man, I'm thinking that they would just, just go roll off of those. We went on them drums. It was, man, I was like, man.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't even like to see Quest DJ. That just hurts everything that's internal. For real, though, man, the music that kid's been playing for years, like his disco set is like punches in the gut. And
Yeah.
like, man, your Spotify, not your Spotify, but what's the thing that they be reading your SoundCloud don't work quick. Your SoundCloud don't work fast enough for the music you playing. So
Yeah.
forget Questlove.
Yeah, man. Well, no, it's like I said, it was definitely for me the reason why I thought it was good to have in here is because it's not an album a lot of people talk a lot about, but the fact that it was truly like kind of a classic hip hop jazz feel, and we were talking a little bit about this earlier before, but there's just a little bit of a pause right in the mid '90s where the big East Coast movement, then the West Coast movement, and then you started to have down South, started to have the Midwest. Like there was a lot of things going on right around 95, and you were getting some major releases from different artists. And while the Roots didn't have necessarily the commercial success at that time, for sure, they were keeping it very, very true, and very aligned with that jazzy element of hip hop, which I've always appreciated.
Yeah, they do. But yeah, some of it had to do with their label though, because they weren't. That's I gotta say, most of the labels didn't even really know what they were going to do at that moment, because like had to be record sales that started to slow down, CDs was taking big, so there was a bunch of labels out trying to figure out where hip hop's direction was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
But
When vinyl actually was getting out of print,
right? Because if you actually look at the album Cutt-Nice Holding Up. Like, yeah, it was just the 12-inch single with both of them stuffed in, even though it was still maybe promo at the time.
Right.
But even if you went to some stores, all you saw was basically a lot of the promos. The album covers weren't there. Like, they just now reprinting most of these stuffs with the original jackets and even on color vinyl, but at 180 gram like weight. You couldn't DJ with that back then. That's almost like DJing with acetate. Like,
Right.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, trying to scratch a 180 gram record, right?
And you see how much they cost right now. Like a reprint of the Roots of this actual particular album is like $35 now.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we couldn't, not on the budgets that we was making. Like, we couldn't afford like that. And I know people overseas have been paying those prices.
Yeah.
$30+ for a whole album since they started spinning. So we gotta look at things like we was privileged, but we weren't so privileged. We was suffering.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true.
Yeah.
All right, well, moving on. February 28th, 1995, The Alcoholics, Coast to Coast. Second album of the hip-hop trio. It features guest rapping from Exhibit, Diamond D, King T, Loot Pack, Q-Tip, The Claim, and Baby Bubba's, and features a lot of production from The Alcoholics, E-Swift, Madlib, and Diamond D.
I'm already right from the get-go. Damn. That right there, That beat is so cold.
Yeah.
It's, the production on there was on point. I mean, not only that song, but I mean, even when they sampled with the Enter the Dragon beat. Yeah. The dun, 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 dun. When he was on that boat, when they was on their way to the island. That album, man, is like damn, for real. I mean, damn.
What about All the Way Live though?
Yeah.
The track they did with Q-Tip that's on here.
Yep.
I think that's the one I heard the most because college radio was playing that more than anything. And I think the video was damn that was just getting played all the time. But taking a look at the album, I'm sort of laughing because again, straight promo.
Right. Straight promo.
Makes you wonder, like, how'd you get this? Like, for real?
We know.
Word.
Wow. Yeah. Hold on, let me give a big up shout out right quick to Jason Staten because Jason Staten was actually doing the what you want to call it? We're doing
was it College Music Journal?
Yeah, not College Journal, but he was basically the college rep for that label. So that's how we was getting Wu-Tang. That's how we was, a lot of things that was also on Motown and everything. But yeah, this is one of the albums he was sort of pushing, and now I'm just looking at it like, damn.
Yeah. Shout out on their first album. On the Wu-Tang ain't nothing to F with.
They was up here. I remember we seen them at Dio's. Yeah, they saw them at Dio's like straight up. I remember, was it Raekwon that got mad at somebody eating his pizza?
Yes.
He sliced the pizza, he was like, "Come he's lost it."
It was served pizza too. Served pizza right there. Yeah.
Well, I remember that dude. He pretty much broke Wu-Tang for the Midwest up at Michigan State, right? Because like that was he really was like the college rep of all college reps at that time. Because I remember when Sean and I got into it, like in 96, 97 for like Rough House and Def Jam and all that. Like he was years into that already, but he was like the known dude in Michigan.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You grew up right here, son.
Yes, sir.
Ain't got no talent.
Right. Like Lansing ain't never been on the map.
We ain't got
okay.
no.
So we Magic Johnson.
They say that's all we have.
For real, like we ain't never exist. Huh? Anyway,
that's a whole new difference.
Yeah, the Alcoholics. The introduction of them from King T. It was kind of fly. Like I like the whole little drunken movement. It was like again, most of us was in our mid-20s, still, coming off the whole Black Power hookup from the early. You say that Public Enemy had everything to do with it. We still had X-Clan and everything. So yeah, man. They was dope, and I remember, even the Exhibit track. Now I'm starting to think of those songs that went by that I didn't hear regularly, but at least now and then, they were mad. And West Coast had that sort of like feel too, so they wasn't all trying to be thugged out or real mellow. LA was on a whole nother tip of just still trying to have that vibe of backyard parties. So you could just tell even in their music was the same way. Mad groovy, but I feel like I'm digressing from the conversation.
Oh no. Well, I was gonna say, for the thing for me with the licks was like exactly what you're talking about, which is like their content. Their content was like that party West Coast, have fun, talk some trash, but they kind of like delivered it on a very like East Coast kind of way. Like their rhyme schemes, their patterns. It wasn't like that. What was coming out a lot of LA at the time, outside of like hieroglyphics and some of the underground. But from a commercial standpoint, it was smoother style raps. It was more melodic in the delivery, things like that. And so these dudes kind of like had the content of the West Coast, but a little bit of the delivery of the East Coast, which was kind of dope. And I've always appreciated the licks for that. It was like you could listen to them and be like, well, I don't even know, like if they weren't talking about West Coast type stuff, I wouldn't even know that they were from the West Coast in most instances.
True.
Yeah.
I must agree, and I agree wholly.
Right.
All right. Next album up, March 14th, 1995. Tupac, Me Against the World.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir.
That was a winter album?
Third studio album from Tupac.
Winter, spring?
Spring album. Uh-huh.
Trying to think. Okay, so what's the songs on here?
So Many Tears.
Oh, man, come on.
Ba-da.
You understand both from the beginning.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, though. What was the first song?
For
Friday Night. Yeah.
Me Against the World. So Many Tears. Temptations.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, this wasn't this. So
This was Dear Mama.
Dear Mama. That's what I'm about to say. Yep.
is this the second Death Row album from him?
Oh.
You went Death Row, this still Interscope, yeah?
Yeah, this still Interscope.
Yeah, that's number 3. Yeah, he hadn't gone to Death Row yet.
Hanging out with Jimmy Irvine.
Yeah,
All right,
this number 3. Right here.
Yeah.
All right, so let me say this about this album. It was way before, let's say, the mindset of getting shot by Biggie and everything changing, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But about this, so we still had what I want to call it, the neighborhood Pac before he became like the angry Pac. Is that what you want to call him?
Well,
On this album, man, he was not promoting that West Coast type stuff, man. On here at all, man.
Yeah, my fault. It wasn't Super Thug Life.
Nah.
This was poetic Pac. This was like party Pac, poetic Pac. In my opinion, this album was like, to me, I think like the best personification of who he was as a writer and as a artist. And like, yes, he had many other classic albums that came out after that. And yes, he kind of went, he went thug with LA and like that type of things. But if you listen to the lyrical content of this album, it was the balance of the party element of him coming from Digital Underground to then him having the lyricist element to him being the story writer and the poetry guy. So like, to me, this encompasses like truly what I think Pac was really all about. And even when he went kind of hard on the thug stuff, when he would get into some interviews and things like that, he was talking about the community. He was talking about the youth. He was talking about making change. And that's what a lot was in this album. So that to me is why it's probably one of my most favorite Tupac albums, because I think it was before all of that other stuff kind of took off with him.
It was. Actually, it was. Yeah. No, that's after.
Hold on a minute.
And Can You Get Away was one of my
Well, I was gonna say, Can You Get Away on here?
That was one of my favorites.
Man, come on.
Yeah, that is a classic. That's a classic album. I do like that.
Yeah, because all right, now
Very much so.
I'm finna really blow folks' mind. Like, I can remember this being on the cassette. And the first side, just like basically the first side would be in mad rotation. And then, once he dropped the video for Dear Mama, it was basically, it must have been platinum by then. Is this one of them that went platinum, like as soon as it came out too?
I didn't. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200. This made Shakur the first artist to have an album debut at number 1 on Billboard 200 while serving time in prison. He was locked up at that point.
Yeah, right then. Ooh.
But I didn't take a note on album sales because I think every single Pac album went platinum.
Well, I mean, I think about that time, it possibly could, because one, I think we were still dealing with 3 formats. So we still had the CD, we had the cassette tape, and we had the vinyl, and there was still no internet, and bootleg man wasn't really on top of his game at that particular time.
Yeah.
So, that's when artists had at least a chance to flourish and actually get let's say, label money before having to go out to get show money.
Yeah, well, that was back like 95. I remember Cuddy. I mean, you guys know, like, I remember this dude. I can't remember his name, but he was in Kalamazoo at Western 2, and he had a CD burner on his Mac, and he was like he was a dude that could burn your mixtape from his cassette player into his computer and then burn the CD. And I remember like it used to burn in real time. Like you had to wait the whole hour to burn one CD off his computer, and as long as it didn't glitch out, you were good. And I remember I stayed there one night. I think like got there like 6 o'clock at night and stayed all night long. Left at like 7 a.m. so I could have 10 burned CDs of my mixtape. That's what I had.
Damn. Well, I mean, you used to have to dub. You had to dub your cassette tapes like that until they get high speed. And that wasn't even the best way to like copy your stuff because the quality you would lose one if you had a master.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how music got around. I remember so many like, ooh, they'll take another show. Yes, right. So March,
that in here now.
right? So March 14th, that came out. What year?
Yeah.
You know, 95. Wow.
95.
Yeah.
So we was okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to remember hearing it in people's systems. Like,
Well,
okay,
it was
like,
well, So Many Tears was the main one.
right.
That was the main track that everybody would, just be hearing or bumping or even in the club.
As soon as you put it in the deck, like, boom, doom, doom, that clap, boom,
Yep.
boom, boom,
Yeah.
and then that sample,
Off of that Tag Girl.
doing that, yeah, like, whoa. It took a minute.
It's 12:30.
I remember trying to find that sample for the longest. I was like, man, I know that song, and
Yeah.
straight Stevie.
Where you played that harmonica on that breakdown.
Yeah, man, that was a hot song. That was a dope album. Like I said, that was one of my, like I said, my I think it's my favorite Tupac album in regards to like listening to him at the, I think the truest form of himself as an artist. There's other albums that I like that I just like to bump. Like you gotta love Machiavelli. Like you gotta love some of those albums where you just bump in the car and just be completely aggressive wherever the hell you're going. But
Right.
but that was dope for me.
The angry albums, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when California Love dropped, I was like, yo, it's nice, but this angry album seems real angry right quick. Like, keep it long. Like you said, now I started to see what you're saying, the poetic side of things. Like, even if you look at the album covers we just did, it wasn't hard, but it wasn't soft. You got a shadow image of Pop, and they didn't get something. And he even had a cross on there. That's when he had the cross on his back and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you try to push those images out of somebody, I don't think it will work. Like, some people be like, look at him. But I don't think he would wear no tight jeans and stuff like that. So.
No, I ain't never doing that. All right.
I was swinging like he's coming out of jail. Like, nah, that's not.
Yeah. In a 4XL Detroit Red Wings jersey, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how I like to see Pac. All right. 2 weeks later, March 28, 1995, Big L, Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous, the only album released by Big L, rest in peace, out of New York, obviously, and production from Buck Wild, Lord Finesse, Showbiz, and Craig Boogie. Yeah, I mean, Big L. Cuddy, I know you want to talk about Big L.
Well, I mean, I got, and see, the thing that at that time, that was when that Big L album didn't even get printed. That was strictly CD and cassette tape.
Yep.
That was all that was. I think who was that? I think it was my boy that put me up on Big L because he was in New York playing basketball, and when he came back, he had the tape. He was like, "Yo, this dude Big L, yo, he the new dude, he the truth." I'm like, I ain't never heard of him. And I'm like, normally, when you a DJ, you be like, man, yeah, you normally heard of someone or something, but and then when I heard it, it was like a freestyle. It was off of one of those, one of the basics, like Airbnb and Rakim type instrumental, and he was just going off. I even got that on the white label now because I found it. But man, he was going in. And I remember it was just he said, F karate, I practice gun fu. I was like, yo. Like, it was just crazy on how he how he incorporated all that stuff together, man. But he was just flowing. I mean, the flows was just crazy. But that album, they actually reissued that album now. You can get it now, but like Cass say though, it's expensive. You know, like $30-$35.
But
you know,
in the justification of that, the timeless of that album, let's say, no, just in the overall, that album is kind of worth $35-$40 now though, because one, it's on something to where, like, our parents would have been like, y'all about to go buy that album and not place it on it with your hand in the middle, sort of hold it from the sides. like loud.
Yeah.
Really place a needle on there. That's why that album is probably worth that money now.
They're not placing the needle, they're just using the arm lift.
See?
The arm lift.
They're using the arm lift and gently put that down there. But that the song on there was, see, like I said, I only heard that the first time I heard it was a freestyle, and that was on a mixtape. But when I actually heard that album, MVP is the joint that just stands out because it wasn't. It's like he can show you like two different sides of him. He can he can really go with that gangster, mixtape vibe or whatnot. But on the MVP, he was just like chill, laid back, and just you just delivering it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was like, okay, that's Big L right there. That's totally different than what I heard him, on this freestyle. And then, then once when you get into other joints like Ebonics and all that, but that's like a little later. But but once you, hear all those joints, man, it was like Big L. He was like ahead of his time, but it was just too bad that it went short though. Got cut short.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. It's I'm a fan of knowing how many other people were fans of his. When you have other major hip hop producers and MCs that pay him respects and talk about how dope he was and talk about, some of the quotables that he had, some of the songs that he did, clearly, he was just an unmatched talent in a lot of different ways. And for him to only really have one studio album, to go on, it's like what Cass was saying, like, it's just one that you kind of have to own just for the simple sake of saying that you own it, right? Because it's like that much of an element of the culture of what we listen to and the influence that he had on other MCs and raising the bar. And again, even that's why I made sure he was on here, because even though commercially, and like you said, Cuddy, like, it wasn't like they were pressing this thing. It was just like if you were in the culture, you knew about him, you knew these songs, you heard him. He was in the underground, but he was raising the bar of all lyricists, commercial and underground, and influencing them to bring a better game to the songs that they were doing. And so for that alone, he's a major influence when it comes to hip hop. And that it was just dope that this was the year that this album came out. And yeah, man, I wish we had more content from him, but it is what it is.
Okay, so bringing that issue up, like the other day, you see Nelly talking about the what ifs of hip hop.
Yeah.
So, do we put Big L in that category to be like, okay, so none of the tragedy happened in the park, no shootings on a murder, album gets released, he starts doing tours. Will Big L have been as big as he was dead from one studio album? So let's say if he would have came out and did like 3 or 4. We still be talking about this album first, or
man,
Big L at all, or
it's tough to answer that question because I can name some other what I thought were dope ass New York MCs that had their moment to shine for a second, but then never really exploded. So like that's my concern with Big L, was that commercially, do I ever think he gets the commercial success? I don't know, because I think he was incapable of dumbing down his lyrics to go out into commercial records. He was just going to always be a boom bap East Coast spitter with dope lyrics. And we saw what happened. A couple of people, you throw in like a Keith Murray and some of the other ones that got their shine for a second, but then look what happened. So I don't know, man. That's a great question, Kaz. I don't know.
Yeah, he in a Chi Ali category.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
But you know, I did see that Nelly interview though, because I got tagged on that, and he talked about the DOC and the whole thing. And what's funny was I had a chance to catch up with Exhibit in Chicago last year. I was up there for a music festival, and he just so happened to be there with Body Count with Ice-T, and like he was just a fan and was hanging out with his boys. He was filming this TV show while he was in Chicago, and I pulled out my recorder and I was like, "Yo," I'm like, "Look, dude, I got to ask you top 5." And he was like, "Top 5?" Well, I was like, "Come on, man, MCs." He's like, "All right." He started running through them. He said DOC as well. And we had a really good conversation about the fact that I'm like, look, you know, yes, if DOC doesn't have the accident, comes out with another album, that may have been a bigger thing for him. And I'm like, but you got to understand the fact that he had the accident, his influence on West Coast hip hop, in my opinion, was even bigger because he went to ghostwriting.
Right,
and he went to be, you know what I'm saying? Like he drove these albums forward as a ghostwriter, or, you know, he wasn't even a ghostwriter. Like, it was a known writer for a lot of these records. I think he had a larger influence because of the accident, but that's just my opinion.
I can see the Hennessy in that.
Cool. All right. So we're off Big L. The next album, April 25th, Mobb Deep, The Infamous.
And all these spring summer albums.
It's over there too. It's it now. Yeah, you know I got that. I even got 5 from him.
Wind it out.
Dudes.
On there.
Second studio album on Loud Records. Guest appearances: Nas, Raekwon, Ghostface Killah, and Q-Tip. And Q-Tip also did a bunch of production on the album. But accolades, 90. You know, the album was certified gold. You know, and 2 months later, album had 4 singles: Shook Once Part 2, Survival of the Fittest, Temperatures Rising, and Give Up the Goods, Just Step. Crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You can't go wrong with none of those.
Like, I don't even know where to start at. Like, I don't know, after the introduction to them kids from Primo with the Pressure, after that, the albums that came after that album, totally different.
Yeah.
First album Primo did, let's say, damn near every production on there is one thing. But this album here, would you say this was the second studio album?
Second studio album, yep.
Very different. Like, literally nothing on this album and the first album are the same. No rapping styles, no sound production, nothing. The direction is mad different. They even got grimier. Because the first album, they was talking, you know, they was still kids.
Yeah, you can tell they was kind of young.
They was mad like, which one called that little group? They was like crisscross almost. People didn't want that direction to jump off. Like, I remember Primo's, every track that Primo did for them was basically suited to every rhyme that they put out. And then when this album came out, I think I was sort of more or less thrown because I was expecting 50% of the first album and some new differences in this one, but this one was straight different from the jump.
Yeah.
It sort of like changed things, and I guess more or less the East Coast music was going in a different direction because the year before Illmatic came out, so we was in the projects, let's say, of New York City, learning stuff that we had no idea of still. Yeah, we came from wearing black medallions and everything in the whole body, the Native Town movement, and we were straight. And about this time, I think that's when the grind kind of started.
Yeah.
A year before. But again, like I said, man, some of these songs on here, you couldn't go wrong with. And now, if you drop the Infamous or Shook Once Part 2, you almost about to start a fight. Let that song don't play past the second verse and see what happens.
I was gonna say, do you think that there was do you think that there is a bigger a bigger instrumental in hip hop history? Like when you think about Shook Once Part 2.
Come on, man. What movie really made that song huge? Like seriously.
Or 8 Mile?
Put your hands up in the air for 313.
Yeah,
Don't
8
like
Mile. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
global because of that movie. Like, and then, as soon as you drop it, like I said, someone's mom, if her wig is not on tight, it's about to go down. Come on, man, you laughing because you know I'm telling the truth.
Either that or it's gonna shift like this.
For real, it's gonna get cocked. She's gonna be sweating it through. I'm not speaking from just seeing this over here in the United States. The same thing goes if you go to another country and that song gives drop. The first thing that comes to their mind is 8 Mile, but since we know that the song doesn't have vocals, it goes on. I've seen people that barely speak English, especially some Asians, just losing their hoods up. So what you want? I mean, because again, this is about culture, and like I said, it seems like that's when Thug started kicking in on the New York scene. It's like, yo, we're doing more than just driving Benz 190s. We kind of over here getting it in. So besides wearing Dapper Dan jackets. I'm really showing age. My birthday tomorrow, man. So whatever, it's all good.
Yeah, dog.
Right, and I'm laughing because we talking about 1995, and to me, that's like saying hip hop was 25 years old. Let's just go and say the first real rap record was Mad Good, or it got global in like 79. So it's like going to elementary school hip hop, and about the time that we talking about 95, rap should have been 25 years old or just straight out of college.
Right.
So,
right.
I mean, looking at things like you had a list from 94, you take a look at that album list compared to the one you just gave us. And like I was speaking earlier, why aren't we doing 95? Because I can still relate, but then like 94, 95 kicked in, and we were still doing the 2 Live Crew thing here.
Yeah.
Big Nick jumping off, but some of these songs made it. But Shook ones? Yeah. Again, don't let your mom go into the club and see you acting up like that. Her Bible on the ground, her pocketbook hit the floor.
Cuddy was dropping Shook ones at the Alpha pool party, and then everybody jumped out of the pool.
Right? Yeah.
See? Man, whatever.
They quit swimming.
Wait, Cuddy, they weren't swimming to begin with. We can say that. They were just splashing around. All right.
I don't know, because we just talking about one track. If that one track defines that whole album, that's crazy.
But like you said, get up the goods, temperatures rising.
Right.
Oh shit.
But I guess it's still not as big as that Shook Ones Part 2. Like,
yeah.
Shook Ones. That's a whole category by itself. That album. That's even when they came out with the video, when they was in the ride, that was it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Some of this changed the way hip hop was looked at. Like, honestly.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Like, was we doing that? Was we riding in the car smoking L's like that, though? Not to the grimiest tracks, but I guess so. Wow.
Yeah.
Just my glasses on that one.
Yeah, man.
Just having your ride and having a pull out. Having a pull out there. That's what it was about back there. Right? That's what it was. Pull out there. Yeah.
All right, so what else came on that spring?
Off that album? Or what else came out? So the funny part is this. So the next album I want to talk about is 3 months later. And so now we're in the middle of summer.
Right. And
that's going to be Bone Thugs and Harmony, East 1990 Eternal.
Knew it.
Second studio album. And this one came out 4 months after Eazy-E passed away. So that was kind of a big deal. So you got, you got Crossroads, Thuggish Ruggish Bone on there. Yeah, man.
The first of the month, right there.
Man, that whole first album, dude. Come on, seriously, that'd be fine. Like, if you ever wanted to know anything about Bone Thugs and Harmony,
You talking about the EP?
Right, because it wasn't even
a full album.
Well, I mean, hold on. If you lived up here, you heard those songs way before, like the rest of the world did. Because remember, they were just from Ohio.
Yep.
And Thuggish Ruggish Bone was trickling up here.
Yep.
And that was about it. Because I remember not even the bootlegs. I can sort of remember seeing that single coming out. It was just like one track on one side and the instrument on the other. And the label was way different before Easy and them got a hold of it. Because Easy and them came out with it. Then next we had the acapella. And you know what happened after that.
Yep. Yep. I was about to say that
song because of that acapella.
Yeah, well, once they gave us the acapellas and they were doing that double time spit, and then we had all the electro techno booty music, man, it just naturally worked.
Anything.
I remember hearing JLB just lose their minds with that. Like, oh, JLB had like 30, 40 different mixes of that song. Is that a ton of percolators out? I'm just trying to
Yeah.
I remember that song. Yeah, because I remember somebody had that. There was that one record that had the guitar riff on it and everything that came from Detroit, and they had that Planet Rock loop on there for like 2 or 3 minutes, and everybody was slapping that song over.
Yeah. Well, didn't DJ Assault do like a Thuggish Ruggish Bone remix?
Something like that, but it was either that or Godfather did one.
Godfather. Yeah.
The East 99.
Well, oh, that's what it was?
Yep.
Yeah.
What else came up there? We talking about First of the Month and
the Crossroads.
Crossroads too.
That was they had their Boys to Men moment.
Okay, so let's talk about Crossroads right quick. Everybody has said this about that song, and that "Miss Your Uncle Charles, y'all" line was done. Because everybody remembers Homeboy coming up and tapping his Uncle Charles on the forehead, his eyes going white, and
Charles, he's out.
Oh yeah, black and something. I know his eyes was out.
But it was scary though. It was scary to the bug.
Like,
and even play that song, people hit that line, and I miss my Uncle Charles. Oh, that's an entertainer for sure. And
that's an example of one of those lines that is so popular in a song that's how people refer to the song. They're like, "Hey, play that Uncle Charles song," right?
Wow, and funny saying that, yeah. First of the month always comes around about summertime, like joking about this general assistance, like it's just to let everybody know all the world is watching this. Everybody don't get their food stamps on the 1st of 15.
That's what Bone said.
Everybody knows how Blake's card was. Quit acting up. We should have never gotten here with you.
Oh man, Cuddy, any thoughts on bum 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 bum?
I think he summed that up on that First of the Month thing, man. But like I said, man, I mean, that album,
it's Michael Charles, y'all.
I mean, he can go either way. I mean, it's 50-50 in my book, but
again, it's not an album. This is an EP we talking about.
Yeah. Well, that was an album. I'm talking about,
was it?
Yeah. The first one though, the Thuggish Ruggish Bone actual one.
Okay.
Yeah, that was just an EP. That's the one that had For the Love of Money on it.
Right.
I wasn't on that album, was it though? But when they did the full album, they didn't put that on there, did they?
Nope.
Yeah.
You had to get that one. Yeah.
There you go. They had a Money Market Scheme. Easy new.
That was
yeah.
I don't remember that. Surrender? Who's that about?
No Surrender.
I don't remember that.
No Surrender. I remember that. Yeah.
It's over there in the shelf, you know.
Yeah. No Surrender was kind of hard.
That's what I'm saying. It was just that was real hard.
Yeah.
But you know, I say, I mean, it was like I said, low, just 50-50, man, with me on that.
Yep.
I think that song was too close to home. They all right.
Oh wait, I'll tell you though, it was their best-selling album with over 6 million copies sold in the U.S. and 10 million worldwide, and they were nominated for a Grammy, and they lost in '96. Do you know who they lost to?
Fresh Person. Hammer.
It's going to surprise you because I didn't even realize these guys won a Grammy. Naughty by Nature, Poverty's Paradise.
Serious?
Yeah. I didn't know Tretch won a Grammy. I couldn't remember that.
It must not have aired that at the board at all.
It must have had, I'm trying to think of what was on Poverty's Paradise.
Poverty, I think that had Craziest on it, I think it was.
That had...
Yeah. I got that album too.
Yeah, Craziest, Feel Me Flow.
Feel Me Flow.
Yeah. That was what was on there. Yep. And Clap Your Hands.
Those songs aren't like when you go in anywhere else and people get to playing old school, those songs are not really.
I know, but that was the MTV movement right there. So, and you know, Tretch with a dog chain on and a padlock around his chest with no shirt on, man, he does good for MTV music videos.
Was he dating Pepper in?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Craziest.
Yeah.
Clap Your Hands.
Mm-hmm.
And Feel Me Flow, pretty much.
Wow.
What I remember on this album right here.
Wait a minute, hold on. Nice slide, shout out, connection. Say got that one on there.
I mean, you would think their first album would have done better.
Yeah.
You know, if anything, they should have got something for that album with OPP
Right.
in it, and you know, Everything's Gonna Be All Right, Ghetto Bastard. You know,
This
Right.
album won a Grammy. This album won a Grammy.
that's what I'm tripping
Yeah.
on. I mean, those just taught me something new.
Yeah, dude, I didn't even realize that till I was doing the research on it. I was like, what? I did not realize Naughty by Nature won a Grammy. Shame on me.
This came on 95 too, hey?
Got it in the top.
Wow.
They ain't in the top 10.
As we proceed.
Because I mean, in my opinion, that album wasn't strong enough to get no Grammy.
Well, I mean, yeah, this sort of got the TV cover. We had MTV Rap, so I can see it.
Yep.
A little bit. A little bit.
Yeah.
All right, so what else came out?
What's that?
What else we had?
All right. So after that, so a couple of weeks later, August 1st, 1995, Raekwon the Chef, Only Built for Cuban Links.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Solo debut album.
The Purple Tape.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's looking at chronology, Incarcerated Scarfaces.
Mm-hmm.
Rainy Days.
Also simple.
All so simple.
That's the remix. Yeah,
Yeah. Can it be that it was all so simple?
You might as well say, man, that whole album was Raekwon and Ghostface together.
Yeah, but this got ice cream on it. This ain't fair.
Yeah.
I mean,
And Meth didn't even rap on it. Just his hook alone.
Yeah.
This album was,
That was Capadonna. That's when they brought Capadonna's first time.
This is
first break.
yeah, this is basically him and Raekwon, though. So.
But that
Or him and Ghostface. Yeah.
it goes there. Yo,
I mean, Ghostface,
it ain't fair, yo. That album is
Iron Man was on here.
Criminology.
I know. And really too, like in my mind, like, and I know that people talk about like he really like this was like that mafioso subgenre of hip hop. Like this album is really like that kind of like Italian gangster throwback, like that whole sound of what then ended up influencing a bunch of other artists to kind of take that on. Like this to me was that jump off, and obviously like coming out of Wu-Tang, Raekwon, Method Man, Ghostface. Like, I think to me, they encompass a lot of just how, to rhyme over a lot of RZA's beats and whatnot. And so, like, yeah, there was so many classics on that damn album. That many have said it's the greatest hip hop album of all time. Not, I don't know that I go that far, but I definitely would say it's probably it's got to be up in at least the top 5, top 10.
And production wise, RZA was on top of his game on that album.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the Rainy Days. Just that beat, how that comes in.
The year of the first samples.
Yeah.
That album.
Not a clean sample on the whole album.
No.
As a
Jackson.
first Wu-Tang album with the most cheesiest of cheese, like they just held a microphone to the radio. That's one thing I actually liked his production style, because it seemed like it just came directly from the record, and they was like, well, yeah, press record. We're going to get this done, and we're going to go to lunch. Oh, we got to go to school. So I'll see y'all tomorrow.
And Nas was on this album, and this was the first
intercourse,
right? And that was the first time ever a non-Wu-Tang member was on a Wu-Tang album.
Yes, they said he's the chef with Ghost and Nas. It's the prophet.
Oh yeah, that's when they used to call Nas Escobar.
Yep, Escobar.
It's 1 o'clock.
that verbal intercourse. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Lo. It's in that top 5, man. That album in '95 too. Oh man,
yeah,
it came on the summer.
Yeah, man. Oh, look at. Hey, and Sporty just popped on to watch the show right now. The reason why we were up in the radio station, he just popped on, said, "What up, though?" Yeah, what up, Sporty?
Classic Detroit, like straight up greedy.
Yeah, man.
Wait for Dillady. Y'all get in, don't get it twisted. It's from y'all know.
So yeah, man. Hey, Raekwon. There's so many damn good songs on that album. So it's hard because about, let's see, August, September, October, November, a couple of months later, November 7th, one and only, also from the Wu-Tang Clan, the genius, the GZA, Liquid Swords.
Man,
It's right here.
the cover alone. The cover. Priceless.
I ain't got too much to say about this album. Hey, it was weird. They was even on Gaffin.
Just the song, just Liquid Swords itself.
Yeah.
I ain't even gotta say nothing about that, man. Just the way that comes in.
Well, elaborate more for us, Mr. Cutt-Nice. I see the fourth chamber on here.
When the MCs came.
And you know, this was the era where instead of
Cold World, that was my
one
jam.
whole album,
Yeah.
so 2 pieces of vinyl.
Oh man, yeah.
Because they had to print stuff out because it was too low if they did the whole album on.
Killer Hills on there, Fourth Chamber, like you said.
This ain't no Marvel color though. Cover though, but it's a good one.
No, it's hot, man. It's a dope cover. And like, look, it's that whole concept taken from the Shogun Assassin, like kicking it off with that movie and like all the interludes and things like that in between, man. It was just it was kind of a dark but dope concept album, man. There's some good songs on there.
Yeah, you gotta watch the El Rey channel to get all the sample clearances. they bring all the old kung fu joints and we're taking like damn near half of it. Shadow boxing.
Yeah, shadow boxing.
On that album, really?
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Is that
Hey,
bling, 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 bling?
Yep.
That's another one though. Like the instrumental to that is a mad one. Like,
Yeah, that's that. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
Did you guys? I remember watching like kung fu on Saturday mornings on, I think it was channel 20.
Was it Kung Fu Theater?
Kung Fu Theater, right? It was like channel 20. I just remember that because the little ass like 13-inch TV in the bedroom that we had that had like the manual click, for UHF, VHF. And I just remember having to click it to channel 20, and that was Kung Fu Theater on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. If you didn't carry Soul Train.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Dope ass record.
That's what you love.
Y'all trying to act like y'all was out here before the cable existed. Stop.
Kind of love.
I mean, TV only had 3 channels, son.
That's what I'm saying.
NBC, CBS, ABC, Ubers.
Yeah, and then it was like WHLK.
They had the one that you can go. It says 0. All
That's what they talking about. The UHF and
It just said
VHF. That's like having AM and FM on the radio, but just on your TV.
Right. And every one of those stations had a Mel Farr Superstar commercial.
That's a piece of my fire, though.
Yeah, man. All right.
Superstars.
we are moving on. So the same exact day. So they were Battle of New Release Tuesday, November 7th. Goody Mob's Soul Food debut album from the Goody Mob on LaFace Records.
Probably that's the reason why I do not remember Ghostface Liquid Sword album because of this.
Yeah. Because of good old fashioned soul food.
Man, look.
Sound Therapy was his joint.
Yes.
So we talking about after the first like ATL's album come out. Like
the Outkast. Outkast I think came out in 94.
This after the first Outkast. I mean, yeah, come on, bro. The production of the Dungeon Family alone.
Mm-hmm.
This one of the most bass driven joints ever. Then that Sound Therapy with the third. Like,
hey, but did you
heard nothing like that before?
No, but did you have the green vinyl though on the single?
But hold on. CeeLo Green dropped a whole verse on Straight Cell Therapy. It was a rap for me because I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious? I mean, it's the whole thing and the message behind this whole album.
Oof. When the scene unfolds, young girls, 13 years old, expose themselves to any Tom, Dick, or Hank. Got mold, stretch marks in these holes, hollering they got rank.
This from good times, yo.
Oh.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? And then, oh man, even when the Soul Food single dropped itself.
Yeah.
No, what else is on that album?
I like Free, just how CeeLo was singing Free on it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. He did it. And then when Thought Process comes in.
Oh man.
The sound of that album, yo.
And how they faded it out, how they faded the song out when Andre was rhyming on the end of that track.
That's what I'm saying. Like that, the production and the sound of this album is we're talking different. And it came on the same day.
Yeah, Organized Noise killed that. November 7th, man. That was the day.
Even the video for Soul Therapy when homeboys come outside the window. Like
Oh. Dog. And if you listen to that song now, it's still so relevant.
Exactly.
To the messaging.
It's not like, the same problems that we were going on right now were happening back then. It's kind of crazy. Maybe it's one of those albums that you put in perspective that it was a tad bit ahead of its time, or it sort of told the future of things because we were still going through that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's like that full circle album, but I guess it'd be relevant in 20 plus odd years, and here we are at 20 plus odd years. And we're discussing how much of an impact this was, and it's true. Like actually, after seeing the Dungeon Family like documentary that came out, not Dungeon Family, we're talking about Organized Noise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Organized Noise joints come out, and we checked that, and wow.
Yeah.
Even now knowing how that whole album was made. was ridiculous. By any means necessary, it was done. But you're talking about it 23 years later.
Dope.
Dope album. Sick album. I think you're right though. I think ahead of its time, conceptually and content wise was way like it the way it was delivered and the fact that it came from Atlanta and the fact that it had that dope ass production from Organized Noise, like it was crazy, man. I think it was, you know, I still think it's probably one of the most slept on albums out there of just like, if you want, like you pop it in today, it still hits, it's still dope. You know, it could still get radio play today if people peeped it out, man. But lyrically, it was sick, man. That's always, you know, that's a deal, man.
Rip that boom. But this, I remember just trying to find a piano just so I could learn to play that part.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
think
man.
my mom at least for a good week or two. After I played it for her, I was like, yo, you gotta show me the keys of this. He caught me on the bridges over though.
Right.
Oh, man. Yeah, Cell Therapy is so cool. Like, it's got to be something else was on that album that was just, but those were just the ones that we heard on the radio and saw the video for it. Like,
Yeah.
I remember just hearing that album and Outkast's first album, just like in People's CD Changer, just on the mere sound of the bass was so heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It was driven by bass lines almost every song.
Yeah.
Man,
Right.
they kind of make songs like that now, but
It's hard to find them.
the lyrics that are over were good for me.
Yeah, they kill it, right? Yeah, they kill it.
Mike Tyson on the booty.
All right. So 1 week later, so November 14th, 1995, this is the last album we're talking about, The Far Side, Lab Cab in California.
Man,
Mhm.
what, man?
That's when running on it.
Yeah, Drop and Running. That was production from them and JD, of course, Jay Dilla.
Of course.
Yeah, man, second album from The Far Side.
That was I like that album. Actually, that album was pretty dope.
Oh no,
I even like the fact I even love the color too. Cause look, it's a blue one.
Yeah.
You got a
Blue
red.
Vinyl. Yeah.
the first album was blue and yellow.
I know.
So Far Side,
I know.
oh my god,
Yeah.
yeah, this was cool to me. This album was nice, but I think I was still stuck.
On Bizarre,
I was stuck on Bizarre for long
Bizarre.
years because it was so abstracty and it had that, to me, like Quest feel, like it was out. It was just, it wasn't normal hip hop like the De La Soul first album. It was so crazy. This one came through. Took me a minute to even know it was basically produced in our backyard.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta give props to this, especially the video they did for Drop. Like it was all in reverse.
All backwards. Yeah.
Crazy. That was crazy by itself. But running on those tracks, like I say, when you go overseas, and you drop, and once they hear them piano keys kick in, and it's a rap. You got your seat. And then the word. Man, come on. Hold on.
Yeah, it's dope. That was it was dope. But see, that's when they was really getting big into making double albums too.
They had no choice.
Yeah. So I mean, you look at that Naughty by Nature album.
Yeah, it was a single, but it's probably
They got like it had so many songs on one side.
you probably gotta turn it up just to listen to it in your headphones.
Back. Right, give it that thumb.
Yeah, that's when we right. Yeah, I think the club scene changed because we wanted low end on everything, and that they weren't giving you that space.
Yep.
Record, so you can get a 12-inch song. So yeah, that's when I think they moved it. But that was sort of the fact where we were starting to lose vinyl.
Yeah. lazy on how they was printing them. You know, it didn't have that high quality or that, you know, that good sound that, you know, like DJs like us would use in the club or something. And you know, especially if they ain't really came out on a 12-inch with it yet, or they hard to find, or if you ain't at the radio station, you're not going to get a copy of it.
Plus, yeah, it was, at least their label was hip-hop oriented and mind-driven. Right. So, yeah, they knew what they was doing. The Mrs. Vinyl, big up to the man that created that. He was halfway too. Yeah, that album, what we want to say, not too massive on commercial success as far as charting, but it's still good hip-hop album to me. Like, where did it place? Like, did it get up
placed, let me see here. Single, Drop was a hit as a follow-up, was running, peaked at 55 on the Billboard Hot 100.
See, so we still talking about a mediocre song.
Yeah.
But album is.
But also too, like that album that they're saying is like compared to Bizarre Ride, did not sell as much as Bizarre Ride, and did not ever meet gold status. So yeah,
trying to tell you, man, Bizarre Ride was something else.
Yeah,
that's why they made all them 45.
Right, pack the pipe and
made the whole 45, a whole section of that whole entire album in the 45. You know I got it. Man, it took me a minute to even understand what the record cover was.
Yeah.
Like, it hit me, and I was like, why am I not in the Funkadelic in the George Clinton statement when I'm looking at this album? Until someone pointed it out to me. They was like, yo, just take a good look at that album, get peep. I was like, yeah, that's crazy. And to be honest with you, you know how I was even introduced to the far side? I was at a frat party. Not a black frat party at that. I was in Ann Arbor, yo. We was at this crazy spot, yo. And
was it like a club or like a frat house?
Right, somebody dropped Pack the Pipe, yo, and the place went crazy. I was like, I don't even know what this group is. And then, yo, the next weekend had doubles of the album. I was like, that mom everywhere. I didn't go nowhere without that vinyl. Even if I just had to play it at the beginning of a party for myself. Yeah. Wow, man.
Yeah, man. That in that era, it was hard to beat. You can't. I mean, I know they tried. They tried to come back hard with that one to match with Bizarre Ride, but yeah, I like that one. But just like Casper said, man, that Bizarre Ride, though.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, honestly, after all those albums we just covered, 95 is kind of weird. If you actually want to think about it, I don't think that hip hop was really super stable. It was New York was actually losing, let's say, being called the home of hip hop at that particular time, because California had their thing, but they wasn't really too much of a driving force. And then the southern parts was basically just coming up. But then again, like we was talking before the camera we clicked on, we have Miami bass and electro just out of our ears. And yeah, because even myself, man, I ended up doing like 2 bass records. You crazy? And Work It Out came out in like 95, 96, so that's what my mind state was.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing like the albums we talked on just periodically. do nothing, and we talking about the Bone and you know the double timing of that. That was bigger, you know, to most of the spots we were DJing and going to unless we were on the radio or somebody made a mixtape like you said. And again, mixtapes to CDs, technology is broken.
Yeah, man. Well, check it out. Here's all 10 that we talked about tonight, starting at the top. The Roots, Do You Want More? The Alcoholics, Coast to Coast. Tupac, Me Against the World. Big L, Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous. Mobb Deep, The Infamous. Bone Thugs and Harmony, East 1999, Eternal. Raekwon the Chef, Only Built for Cuban Links. Genius, Jizza, Liquid Swords. Goody Mob, Soul Food. And, of course, The Far Side, Lab Cap in California. That was all 10, gentlemen. Fantastic job. And of course, go ahead.
This conversation.
Uh-huh.
Out of all those 10 you named, it's kind of tough to talk about which one was the better one. So, I mean, in my mind, I got to ask, was it Tupac's album or was it the Goody Mob?
God. Man.
I mean,
oof.
Because if you really think about that year, those two albums made a mad impact. Because we were there to the singles. And while these other albums were coming out, you still got Dear Mama on the chart. You still got So Many Tears on the chart. Then when Cell Therapy came out, Tupac was still on the chart for, songs from that year. And I don't even think all the singles were like even out. We may have still been talking about just
make that video.
One or two singles even being like what was the first album the first time I probably came from that wasn't really me against wow. What was the first video?
First video, I think was good.
So I couldn't have been. What was the first video off that album? Was it So Many Tears?
Because he got one for Temptations, but Temptations he wasn't really in that because that's when he was locked up. They had an impersonator for that one. He wasn't. He wasn't even in Dear Mama.
Right, wasn't in Dear Mama.
And shit, I didn't see him.
And was he even in So Many Tears?
I don't think so. I don't know that he was in any of those videos.
Any of them because he was locked up.
So Many Tears wasn't the cartoon, was it? Wow. See, that's a question we gotta ask. Like, okay, and then
you're the only ones he made.
And then, talking about those two albums, we talking about Cell Therapy, we talking about Goody Mob and Tupac. Like again, the man's presence. He was locked up while this album was out, and it still did as massive as it did.
Mm-hmm.
No shows, his videos, no presence,
no promo, really like that. He couldn't like.
It was no
press conferences or nothing like that.
No Tonight Show. He didn't do none of that. Not even MTV at the time. It was just the videos, the singles being dropped, and radio play.
Yeah.
And still, that album is massive.
Yeah, I gotta go with Tupac on that year, and that's tough for me too because I think Goody Mob it really like solidified the movement of the South and coming off of Outkast and really I think Atlanta outside the East Coast and the West Coast I think Atlanta became responsible for truly like driving the regional elements of a sound and then making that a thing. Cause then after there were a lot of spots in the US that were coming up, but you didn't really, after Atlanta broke, after Goody Mob broke, then now you had kind of the Texas movement, right? And then you had the Midwest movement. So all of a sudden it was cool to not be from New York or LA.
Right.
It was cool to be from somewhere else and have a regional sound and have an accent and have your slang and how you do that type of stuff. So I think that Goody Mob album following the Outkast album previous year made that a thing when it came to hip hop culture. But when you go album to album, I think this album is the thing that solidifies Tupac's legacy. That's my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree on a lot of that. Yeah. It was poetic. Like it wasn't when my homies called and Dear Mama. I mean, not Dear Mama. Brenda's had a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And it's completely where all right, Pac had 2 under his belt already, and this being the third, and then this is when all the drama started.
Right.
Crazy. Wow. Yeah. It's funny that it's kind of funny to look back on it, but it's not. One, it shows you your age and how long you've been in this business, and then you sort of look at part of the if you want to call it the pivoting points in music. Like you said, like this was the time where the southern regions was basically kicking up dust. And you have people coming from not only New York and California, that South. Didn't Tech Nine come out around that time too? And it was crazy.
Yeah.
About each time.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Yeah,
we're almost 50. What else you want from us? What more can you say?
Yeah, man. Well, before we wrap up, so this is what happens whenever we do one of these episodes. So my man Kyle Willis, my artist buddy, he did these comic book covers for me, and it's kind of hard because of the reflection of the screen here. But basically, yeah, he did comic books. So like every year he did a different comic book cover, and he's got all 10 of the album covers in the background, like a New York style graffiti artist. And then the character that he has on this one was a working concept he did for a metal mixtape that he never submitted. But it's a reference photo, so kind of his own character, but it's for 1995. So what ends up happening is when you were on a show with me and we discussed this, you get one of these comic book covers. So I'm gonna mail each of you guys. I got to one copy each for you right here. So I'll get these out to the mail to you guys. And that way you can have something to hold on to remember us discussing 1995 and the golden decade of hip hop.
Oh yeah, that's going right on the wall in here.
I don't have no wall. Yeah. I could probably take it back when it's time to go home. Yeah.
Another memento, for the lab.
Yep, we got more stuff to hang up on the lab, man. Yes, sir. All right, well, DJ Cutt-Nice, DJ Crazy Cass, thanks for hopping on the podcast and talking the year 1995 in hip hop. And we're gonna keep doing this more often, man. We're gonna find some other stuff to talk about and then throw in some live mixes and have a good time. So thank y'all. Any final shout outs before we shut this down?
Well, first things first, man. Always gotta give shout outs, to the person that made it possible with you. You know what I'm saying? Your show and all that, man. We just appreciative that you put us on your show, man. Just appreciative that, even goes back to that time, man, in Kalamazoo, man, at that pool party. You the only DJ that came to me. Everybody else never said a word to me, yo. Only person that came to me first was this dude right here. It just went down ever since.
See, he's trying to steal your style.
Yeah.
Let me shut this down early. What's this kid's name? What? Okay, all right.
I had to come check and make sure he knew what he was doing. I was like, all right, this dude, he can spin, he can cut. All right, he's good. I'll be all right with him. He's not one of them fake ass, CDJ DJs playing off a laptop. He can play real vinyl.
Again, in the next year or so, isn't it when I actually met you?
What's that? When?
Where was you at Club 340?
Yeah, it was at 340.
Because when I came in here, I surely had done that record. And I barely knew Eric and all the rest of them. And yeah, man, when I first met y'all out there, man, y'all was real. You know, one of the first people started talking to you too, come to think of it.
Yeah, because I was at Club 340 underage because I was 19 years old, 20 years old barely.
Yeah.
When I met E-House, and I met E-House through Sporty at Western on the radio station, and then he was like, "Why don't you come down on Tuesdays, check us out?" And that's when I met you, Cass. You came down on Tuesdays, and I was like, "Now this dude is crazy sick." Yep, and then that's when we started all hanging out, man. But that's just that's how it is. And then me and Cuddy and Casper, we started Sickness Records.
Yeah, man.
Dang, my birthday's on the hour. Word.
Oh yeah, man. All right, well, hey man, happy early birthday, Cass, y'all. Thanks for hopping on the show. It was a great time. I will holler at y'all later, y'all. Life of Lozo, we out of here. Deuces. The Life of Lozo podcast is brought to you by Stay Tuned Studios, STS Podcast, Taylor Shop Inc., 03 Productions, The Beat Brigade, PRhyme Designs Clothing, Ronz War Guitars, The Music Experience, Custom Shirts and more, Local Goods Market, The Art of Kyle Willis, the Josh the Man MMA Foundation, and of course Jack's Nutrition. Yo, if you are an independent hip-hop artist, please holler at your boy. Send us some music. We're doing some reviews on upcoming shows. And of course, if you like the episode, please share it and tell all your friends about it and rate it on iTunes. Thank you so much, y'all. Peace.